god darn. You gotta try this Candid Dry Black Ginger Ale, 0 sugar. That's pop, you know? Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
But it's something sensational.
Sing your heart out.
Get good! Feel good!
Be happy.
You have the right to remain silent.
Shut up!
Anything you say will be used against you. Against you. Against you. Against you.
That's the true reality.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's good shit right there. That's good shit. That's good shit right there. Imagine that's my voice on it. That's good shit right there. Imagine that's what my voice sounded like. That's good shit right there. You know, rather than, oh fuck bud, that's good shit right there. You know, that's what my real voice sounds like. You know, oh fuck bud, that's good shit right fucking there. You know, testing 1 2 3. You know, imagine rather than the actual sound of my voice. That's holy fuck bud, that's a good drink right there. That's some purple drink. You know, rather than my real voice, I use yeah, that's some good drink right there. Like, imagine I used my real voice. Like, I was like, look, here we are in the podcast. We got guys, you know, you're supposed to have these friends who are gonna help me make it, but I guess I don't got any friends. Like, imagine I used my real voice like that. That'd be despicable. Like, no one wants to hear a guy's real voice. That's one small piece of advice that if I was going to pass anything on to the next generation, it would be no one wants to hear your real voice on the television. You know what I mean? They want to hear a cool, made-up voice. They don't want to hear, look, bud, I like purple drink. Purple drink's my favorite. I mean, this is who I really am. I'm a guy who sounds like this. So, you know, I made this show, and I learned to talk cool like a radio guy. You know what I mean? And god damn, that's good drink. You know? But no one would ever want to hear me talking if this was my voice. You know, so I got to change it. I made it like this. I was like, oh, slap my knee. I love this drink. This happens to be my favorite drink. Canada Dry, blackberry, ginger ale. You know, 0 sugar. I mean, who knows what's in the 0 sugar? I've heard say that 0 sugar is worse than regular sugar, but how could that be? You know. Anyways, like imagine I didn't talk like that and I talk like this. No one would want to hear a thing I had to say. Excuse me. Not supposed to laugh. It's a new rule. It's a new rule I've made for myself. No laughing like an insane maniac. Well, it's 3:45 a.m. January 13th. Snowing, you know, until it's dark out, you know. Yeah, and it's dark now, but I mean, the sun will rise soon, and the snow will continue until you see the moon. But I mean, you won't see it because it's snowing. But I'm sure it'll subside at some point this evening. We've got a high of -2 and a low of -6. I guess the weather's changed. I guess they changed the weather. I guess someone decided, we're going to change the weather. I guess that's what happened. I guess someone decided that. But anyways, January 13th, it's Yannika's birthday. And this year I got her a bar of soap, some ramen, and a carton of cigarettes. But more on that later. We have a great show for you today. I'm going to start off with some news. Today in the news, a museum in Florida beat the world record for the largest gathering of people dressed as dinosaurs. Okay, so I guess that's the largest gathering of people dressed like make-believe creatures. What's with the news and always a contest? That's what the news was all about, contests last week. And here's some relevant news. Geographically relevant news to me, I guess you might say. Canada Post just raised the price of stamps by 25 cents. What? They used to be 99, and now stamps are $1.25. Slap my knee. This economy is out of control. How's a guy supposed to send a letter to his Aunt Marie, when he can't afford the price of stamps? How's a guy supposed to mail a letter? I mail 6 or 7 letters, to my aunts and uncles monthly. So to me, this is a travesty. How could they do it to us? How could they do it to us? This is an attack. It's an attack, Anyways, this news, I don't know if I should do the news first because it's getting me all riled up. I don't think that'll be a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing that I get all riled up for the show, but Anyways, next in the news, a discovery was made in the UK where they say over 200 dinosaur footprints from the Jurassic period were discovered, and they say the footprints were made 166 million years ago. So they say. Guess what? They say a lot of things, I don't understand how this has anything to do with feeding the starving kids in Africa, so I don't understand how it's news. Oh, you found footprints that are hundreds of years old? How do you find the food and put it in the fucking children's mouths, find food for fucking starving people, and don't worry about footprints from 166 million years ago. Hey, let me tell you something, friend. Whatever happened that long ago is not relevant now. All that matters now is feeding starving people. There's plenty of them, because there's lots of wars going around. So, look, the next time I see a story about 166 million years ago, I'm going to say that's not worth my time reading. I might cancel this whole news segment because look, who cares really? Other than the stamps, because I have to mail Aunt Marie. Anyways, we have a great show today. Stick around. You get older and 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 then, well, you know what happens next. Yeah. But until that moment, keep fighting, and try not to act mature. Be mature, but try not to act like a big fucking bully. You know what I mean? Oh god darn! Don't you just hate people who think they can tell other adults how to act? If you see another adult breaking a law, apprehend them at once, But if all they're doing is wearing a funny hat, forget about it. You know what I mean? You don't know what's inside of people. You don't want to be criticizing people for no gosh darn reason because they say something you don't like or they're wearing some clothes you don't like. You say, "Oh, I don't like guys in leather jackets." Just leave it alone, and just wait for the real perpetrators. Getting old is hard enough. Slap my knee. I'm at an age where toast has become dangerous. Try not to laugh. Slap my knee. It's too crispy. I bet you never thought the word crispy, would become a warning of danger. You never thought the word crispy was a warning of danger to come. Keep laughing. I'm trying not to. Okay. Yet here we are. Sensitive gums. Why me, Lord? Why me? I break out in hives when I sweat. I'm a downward dog. Lord, I ain't got no reverse in this old jalopy. Come on. Getting old is getting old. As a guy who's turning senile, what was that? I'm losing the thread, and having outburst reactions to simple questions all the time. Enjoy my comedy stylings while you can, because soon you'll be laughing at me, not, oh god darn, how does that saying go again? Slap my knee. The lights are getting dim. I mean, not these lights. These lights are blinding me. As you get older, you become more honest with yourself. You gotta. Like when I go on the phone, there's two options. There's pictures of cats and trees. That's sort of one option, right? Or there's pictures of scantily clad, dressed sluts. At that moment, when I'm posed with the two options, before my power of discernment turns on, my untethered mind begins the chemical process that happens moments before breeding. And while a young man might be more quick to the draw and just dash into the forest to pet the cat, my old slow brain just pets the cat. Oh god darn, got me again. Is entrapment a crime? Is entrapment not a crime? Well, it should be. That's the kind of thing you start thinking as you get older. You start thinking women in tight clothes should be arrested. What women who gyrate their hips need to be subdued. How dare a woman try to rape my mind? Just appears in your mind undressed and in trouble. Hey, how about knock first, you goddamn... Hey, how about knock first, you goddamn succubus? Instagram, after you've been on Instagram long enough, you start to understand fucking witch burnings. All right, so Trump is going to take over Canada. That's what I keep hearing. I don't know if that would be good or bad. But what I do know is all the white guys, the white Canadian beta males, saying, we beat you last time. Look, those voices specifically are the voices of white tough guys who sat around the past 10 years while the country was uprooted. Okay? Look, if Trump takes over Canada, the only people who could stop him, would be the truckers. Ain't that a thing? Slap my knee. The only Canadians who could stop Trump are the truckers. How do you like that, white Canadian beta males? Oh God, they're the only line of defense. Personally, I don't care what happens. I'm an outlaw, right? But don't I love to watch the cookie crumble, right? When your best friend, your only best friend, is someone you don't like. How dare anyone say there's a Toronto accent? You've got foreign accent syndrome, my friend. I mean, that's a real syndrome. Look it up. Google it sometime, Don't you just hate people from Toronto's fake ethnic accents? I mean, I'm not saying don't you hate... I didn't say don't you hate ethnic accents. I said they're fucking fake ones. Slap my knee. If a giant boulder crushed Toronto, I wouldn't care. Toronto's an airport, all flights for hell leaving at gate 6. Oh God, darn. As a person who has various kinds of pain, I have a bad short-term memory. I'll be saying something. I'll be like the cat in the cradle, and then bam, sharp pain in the hip. And I go, what the heck was I talking about? I get very little talking done. I'm always just saying the beginnings of sentences, mostly. My hairline is about 3 hairs away from me robbing a bank. Okay? And look, I'm the kind of guy who's not much more than a neck with ears and a mouth. Look, it's all the same size. My head is all the same size, right? I'm Earthworm Jim. Put the money and the tasty treats in the bag. That'll be me, I don't care about losing my hair, whatever. I just figure you should be what you look like, And 3 hairs from now, I'll look like a bank robber, okay? And since I'll have nothing to fucking lose, I'll be robbing the bank, I guess, to get money for a hair transplant. So I can pay a guy who also has nothing to lose to take the hair from my ass and plant it into my scalp. That's where I guess they take it from. I mean, I don't have much leg or arm hair, so they're taking it from my fucking ass, right? So this is a PSA. So So if you don't want me to take matters into my own hands, I would suggest starting a GoFundMe for my hairline. You know, because once I lose the connection, all bets are off. There we go, laughing again. Like, who do you think you are laughing? Just read it dryly, get it over with. Okay? Because once I lose the connection, all bets are off. You know, I'm going Jack Nicholson all up in this bank. Here's Baldy. You know, just kick open the bank door. Here's Baldy. I don't even need a gun. Everyone just screams because I have a bald head and dives for cover. I feel like I'm positioned weird. I feel like I'm really low. Like this is gonna get cut and it's gonna look like I got my legs cut or something. So being young isn't fun sometimes. Okay? This one time when I was young, I was late on rent and had to find a way to get the money or be evicted. I decided my only hope was, to sell my organs on the black market. You know, first step, locate this black market. Second step, sell organs. But not all of them, just the doubles. I'll sell one of my kidneys, or I can get rid of a lung, I guess, or a heart. What? You never met a guy with two hearts? So I went downtown, to look for a human trafficker, to buy my fucking second heart. And then realized, I have no idea what a human trafficker looks like. How am I going to be able to, differentiate between a human trafficker and a regular old trafficker? So I start scanning the scene for a guy with one earring wearing a trench coat. No one fit the bill, but there was this one guy who looked exactly like the rapper Drake. So I walked right up to him and said, you want to buy my fucking heart? He looked confused, so I pressed him. I also have a perfectly good kidney if you're in the market. He took a step back, I looked insulted and took a step forward and said, I really need the money. I'm late on rent. He said, what do you take me for? Some kind of human trafficker? I held my kidney in utter rejection. Then he said, want to buy a carton of native cigarettes? So here I am smoking a native cigarette. That was fucking Francois ever, man. I haven't seen him in a while. Oh, God darn. Oh, I got this new sweater, fucking $9. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. If you're gonna wear a sweater, make sure it's a sweater worth $9. I find I look like a bank robber. You know what I mean? Like, I always think before you get dressed, dress like you were gonna dress if you were about to, assassinate someone who did something real bad to someone you care about. Always dress like you're ready to impress. As a Canadian working class, when I get the news, not if, but when I get the news, that I have diabetes, I'm switching from cream cheese to light cream cheese and going on with my day like nothing happened. As a Canadian working class, I taunt death with every dietary decision. My food is plastic. But isn't that just like a guy like me, survives the plague, dies of calcium buildup? Oh, god darn. You are what you eat. I'm unhealthy. I mean, that's no laughing matter. I mean, I won't be laughing when I'm in my fucking grave, you know what I mean? That's what they say, that's what fucking losers who don't know how to have a good time say. I feel like this podcast is just floating right by, I also feel like it's probably gonna be like 15 minutes. I'm just getting more, the better I get at writing jokes, the smaller they get, because good writing is condensed. How do these people talk for 5 hours? They must not be really saying anything that good. As a fella who's recently been released from prison, I'm learning all kinds of new things. By day, I bag groceries, and by night, I sit on my chair and, look up at the ceiling beam. Oh, hey, I think someone carved their name. Anywho, don't you hate it when people say prostitution was the first job in human history? More like the first dirty job. Slap my knee. I thought the first job in human history was, hunting? Or maybe gathering? But I guess I'm just a stupid old con, I thought prostitution, was just a component of slavery. And all slavery is bad. That's my motto. I was actually thinking about getting it tattooed. And the worst part of slavery, sex slavery. Right? No consensus. I thought slavery was the worst, and then the worst part of slavery was the sex part of the slavery. And as anyone with a grade 2 education may know, all slavery is sex slavery. Anyways, I don't like getting into these zones. But I'm just interested. When did prostitution, change from the dirtiest job known to man to a decent way to make a living? Slap my knee. Color me green. I'm a novice all of a sudden. I don't get it. I find since I've been released, I'm easily shocked, As I get older, I'm easily shocked. I'm shocked, I'm shocked that people think being a friggin' prostitute's a good gig. But it makes lots of money. Oh, god darn, you know what else makes lots of money? Fucking assassinating people. Selling fucking bindles of cocaine or something. Lots of things make money that aren't good things. But anyway, see, I'm getting all worked up. I'm getting hot-faced here. An old con like me just can't handle this kind of thing, right? I have to stick to what I know. I have to stick to what I know. Okay? People ask, why did you go to prison? I'm not ashamed to tell them. I went to the big house for speaking my mind. And killing. But I like to think the main reason is because I was speaking my mind. And I did, and all I did was accidentally kill an innocent bystander. Not like I took someone out who had intention. I just sunk a drifter, is what I told the judge. He doubled my sentence. Gave me 2 back-to-back life sentences, which in Canada is 3 months. Canada's like some kind of fucking Amsterdam of law. Pretty much do anything here, and they just like put you into one door and you come out the other. God darn, Canada is secretly a very dangerous place. So turns out in prison, I'm the life of the party. Can you imagine? Turns out guys in prison are just like me. They taught me their tricks, and I taught them mine. And you might say, I'm 10 times the killer I was coming out as going in. Good old con college, right? God, prison is a riot. I read like 20 fucking books, met a bunch of comrades. That's what we'd call each other, comrade. I don't know why, but they would all call each other that. Took a cooking 101 course. Honestly, I can't wait to go back. Lock me up. Don't lock me up. I mean, we're kidding around here, right? So lock me up, but don't. But lock me up, right? So, seeing as my twin boys will be born any day now, I've been thinking of baby names, and not really coming up with anything great, But I've thought of a few. I've thought of a few really bad names. Here's a list of names never to call your baby. Okay, never call your baby Jonathan Epstein. Bad name. Don't ever call your baby that. Or this one sucks. Never call your baby Aaron Combs. Not a popular one. Or Sean Aaron. Just avoid the Combs. Never call your fresh baby boy Jacob Weinstein. I don't know. It's just that name just doesn't have a ring to it or something. Or here's a bad baby name. Never call your baby David Hitler. Oh God, doesn't that one just leave a bad taste in your mouth? Along with a name something like, never call your kid something like Daniel Stalin. I mean, who would call their kid that? I mean, I saw these names on a list of possible baby names. AI maybe. Those AI is off its rocker. Those names truly stink. Stay away from names like Adolf McCarthy, Devin Mangala. Any name like that is just terrible. And you don't want to. You don't want to attach that to someone. You don't want someone to have to start their life off like that, someone like Amy Thatcher, Oh God, darn. I wonder how many times I say "oh God, darn," and the iterations of it throughout this. If I ever get in a fight, I say, "Hey, don't punch me." And if they throw a punch, I try to punch out of midair, puck, or catch their fist. Oh my God, or catch their fist like a baseball, and then I'm not sure what happens next, but probably me running. You know, or running and getting punched in the back of the fucking head. Always run away from fights. Always run away from all fights. Fight people in your dreams only, right? You know, run. You know, and give all your weapons to the government. I gotta make some money somehow. These are the things I have to say. I have to say, you won't need weapons if you just sit very still. You know, they won't see you. You don't need a Glock. Just learn to be quiet, okay? Just never speak again. All right? And you won't need that gun. You know, turn in your guns and turn your heart to Jesus. Right? Like, I don't need a gun. Yeah. How do you know you don't need something you never had? That's another one of my mottos. How do you know you need something that you never had or don't need? Right? That's what I always say to Canadians, those suckers, you know. They go, I don't need it. How do you know you never had it? Oh, because. Oh, God darn, you caught me there. You surely got me there. Because is always the right. If I was homeless in 2022, I would have a heart full of vaccines and a belly full of donuts. You know, and somehow because I smoke cigarette butts, I'm perfectly fine. Oh, God darn. And while on the subject of being homeless, you know, I was in McDonald's bathroom the other day, and I thought, I can see why homeless people like sleeping here. It's so warm and smells like French fries. My bedroom doesn't smell like French fries, you know. I personally hadn't felt warmth in weeks, you know, other than off in the distance. As a Canadian, I heat my house with 3 tea candles. Isn't inflation a grim reaping? As a guy who's worse off living in a house because of the economy than a tramp on the street, sometimes I miss prison. Slap my knee. It was a lot easier in prison. Everything made so much sense. You know, there was no political correctness, you know, or inflation. You might say prison is a very racially divided institution. And look, I'm not saying that's the way it should be. I'm just saying the Aryan Brotherhood really took a shining to me. Must have been my gleaming personality. But look, I'm getting off track. Sure, prison is no 4 seasons, but it's a place to cut the fat and get down to brass tacks, you know? Where out here, everything is about getting fat and avoiding taxes. Look, I like wetting my whistle on a Friday night like any other fella in need. But despite common misconceptions, prison is chock full of opportunities to have your whistle wetted. You might almost say the whistle wetting is wettest on the inside, but that's neither here nor there. What I'm saying is, hey world, slow down, would you? Things are moving too fast for an old con to keep up. God, I'm hungry. Annika, Can you bring me those sandwiches out of the cupboard? God damn, my stomach is interrupting the podcast and going. I keep trying to read these jokes and my stomach keeps going. Hey! Thank you. I love you. Happy birthday. God darn. I need to eat sometimes. Now, a big thing is this thing called conspiracy theories, right? Which I didn't realize became such a big deal, since I was released. But turns out conspiracies are what everyone's all about now. No one cares about goddamn facts. They just think all these fancy things, these sci-fi thoughts. My first time interacting with conspiracies, I was probably a boy of about 12. And that was probably in 2002. So this is long before the internet had really taken hold. No one had cell phones with cameras on them or nothing like that yet. Really, well, they existed, but people didn't generally have them, and they weren't high tech and all that jazz like they are now. But basically, my first interaction with conspiracies was my neighbor who would have a speaker in every window of his house, and for 12 hours a day he would blast Alex Jones' radio show. And to me back then as a boy who never heard nothing about this kind of thing, because back then as a boy no one had ever heard of nothing like a conspiracy. There's nothing about it on TV. I mean, there was, but it was so hidden in the stuff. You found out about it later, but no one had heard about nothing about conspiracies where I was from. Where I was from, no one heard nothing about that. It was all reading Rainbow and Arthur and and then The Simpsons and things like this. So, anywho, I never heard of such a thing. So this guy be blasting this stuff out his windows, and to me it was, I don't know, a guy speaking in tongues nearly. That's what Alex Jones was when I was a boy. It was just some guy basically being like, George Bush. Whoa, I didn't get it, I said, what in tarnation? I just didn't get it. So this guy would have this blasting, he would have the conspiracy theories blasting out his windows. I'd hear it, but I wouldn't hear it, right? And then later in life, not later in life, but I'd also find the guy would post these little notes around town on telephone posts, and to me it was looking at, it's I had a stroke or something. I was looking at pure gibberish, just a bunch of stuff on there, different shapes, picture of George Bush's face, the Twin Towers, all this kind of stuff. I was like, what in God's, as a boy who'd only ever seen regular old television, I couldn't make ifs, ands, or buts about it. But anywho, so that was my first interaction with conspiracies, and oh god darn, I thought, what's all this about, right? And then my neighbor, that fellow, right, who was into these conspiracies, I don't know, it was a scary guy. But anyways, I don't like thinking about that kind of stuff. Who the heck would want to know something that they don't know? Oh yeah? Really, the sky's gray. I mean, really, the sky is fucking green. You're like, what the? You look and suddenly it is green? I'm good with knowing it's blue. Anywho. If you're married to me, you're getting embarrassed in public. And as someone who is married to me, that somehow turns you on. Nice. How'd you find me? And what's your interest in ex-cons? Look, my wife met me through a prison pen pal program. Don't ask me how I did it. Just know magic is real. And it'll continue being real until further notice. Lost at sea. Oh god darn! I should have never got on that fandangled plane. Friggin' duct tape on the wing. As the only survivor of a plane crash, I have to say, isn't it just my luck? Floating out here with the fucking sharks and jellyfish. Oh look, I think that's a survivor. Oh, never mind. A shark got them. Thank God I'm on this wing, Getting bitten by a shark would be such a drag. Never forget, sharks bite. Okay, part of the plane's canteen is floating over. Nice. Got it. All right. Looks like I have 6 months worth of food and water. Hot damn. I'm pretty sure this is a calm part of the ocean. Next scene, on the top of a tidal wave. Oh god darn, I'm not much of a surfer. Next day, on a much smaller piece of wing, I awake and pull my hand out of the water moments before a shark bites me. Dirty dog? Oh god darn, all the supplies washed away. This is starting to get annoying. But moments later, I bump into a giant half-eaten whale. Slap my knee, I've got food for months. Months go by, I make friends with a bird and eat my fill of whale daily, A Coast Guard spots me and comes to my rescue, right? I do not want to leave. The savers look complexed. I say, I'm happy, well fed, and I have my first real friend. I look around and Jonathan the bird is flying off into the distance. I look back at the savers. I've got plenty of food. Just then, one of the Coast Guards, tries to apprehend me for my own good, and I thrash hard, knocking him into the water. Instantly, the sharks devour him, and I am brought straight to jail in 5, 4, 3, 2. Thanks for tuning in. Oh god darn, that podcast is gonna be like friggin' like 15 minutes. It feels like so much longer. It feels like so much longer, and you've got all these pages. But then when you get to reading them, and then you look after, and you're like, this is only 25 minutes. Maybe I'll just sit here. I'll just sit here for 10 more minutes and eat this fucking sandwich. I'll sit here for 10 minutes and eat this fucking sandwich in silence. Oh god darn. Writing an hour's worth of content every week is beginning to be troubling. If I want more things to riff off of, I might have to stop my hermitage. I might have to stop being a fucking hermit if I'm gonna have to say anything that's fucking real. If I'm gonna say the true reality. Is this guy seriously on a podcast just eating a sandwich and drinking a Canada Dry black ginger ale, 0 sugar. Do cows fucking go moo? Does a cat fucking meow? You know, is the sky fucking blue or purple? Just running out the fucking clock, okay? I got mouths to feed, you know? So if you're not too busy, hey, let's just have a little bite to eat together, okay? I think you really have something better to do than sit here and me by smiles, you know what I mean? I'm here, I dropped the bit, I dropped the act, you know? Just in my regular fucking behavior. Eating this sandwich with you. Sometimes you just need to kick back and eat a fucking sandwich. You know? You got on your nice new sweater. You're eating a nice sandwich. Made by your loving wife. And mistress. Your loving wife and mistress. That's a riddle that will lead you to true happiness. I wonder if I'm going to go back to prison. It's a serious question. Will I go to prison? Will I go back to prison? It's very likely. It's always likely because I'm always speaking my gosh darn mind. Apparently, in this day and age, speaking your mind is about one of the worst crimes that could be freaking perpetrated. That's hard to fucking comprehend sometimes. Does anyone else do that? You know, just hold your drink right there, ready to get the most of that chewed down. So you can wash the rest down, yeah. I bet that's part of getting old. You just got your drink on the fucking ready and chewing.